Welcome back to Ringside Report. Carl Froch, the super middleweight IBF champion, has vacated his belt.
That's right. While he's keeping the WBA title, he did have the mandatory of James DeGale, a popular British fighter, and has now has opted out to vacate the title and hold on to his WBA title because he has admitted that he doesn't like the idea of keeping a fighter waiting for a title shot. He doesn't feel ready. He's looking for fights with Bernard Hopkins in the future. That's been very talked about. He's looking for hopefully maybe still landing the Julio Cesar Chavez fight. James DeGale, although it would be a great domestic fight in the UK, is not a fight that he's really after right now. He wants the Vegas show lights. That's what he's looking for to end his career with.
Yeah,
and
sure.
That isn't what he was looking for. But at the same time, this is very positive for a lot of the other top names in the super middleweight division, because it looks like James DeGale will be having a fight for the vacant title against your boy Andre Dirrell.
Yes, you got to first kind of see him in the Super 6 tournament with Carl Froch.
Looked incredible in the Super 6, I have to say. He was the front runner for me coming out of the gate after the first round.
Yeah, especially with that speed and just like and some of that power. I thought he was for sure. He's gonna be him and Andre Ward in the finals. That's how I felt.
Yeah, I never saw Ward coming out to the finals, but I definitely saw Dirrell coming out with it. He has disappointed in recent fights. Definitely had to deal with the horrible injuries from the cheap shots from Arthur Abraham in the disqualification victory. That he didn't fight for a long time after that. He's never quite looked the same since, but he's worked his way up to top contender status in the IBF, and now looks like, due to Carl Froch, a guy who he continues to say he beat the first time. A lot of people agree with that when they fought in the Super 6.
Yes, I was one of them.
I was one person that thought he won that fight as well, although Carl Froch did look good, and you have to really beat a guy in his hometown. In any case, Dirrell has moved himself to top contender status and will be having a fight most likely with James DeGale for the vacant title, and that's great for the super middleweight division. As well as, at the same time, he's got his younger brother as the WBC world champion.
Yes.
And we just got word that he will be getting, there was a ruling from the WBC that he will be getting an option to defend his title in April before he would face his mandatory challenger, which is also now George Groves.
So, Carl Froch vacating his belt, what does that mean for the rest of the division?
Well, with eyes on, I know that Carl Froch is a very smart man. He's a guy who has eyes on the division at all times, whether he's active or not. He kind of just handed the super middleweight division to the United Kingdom on a silver platter, so to speak, because he holds on to the WBA title for as long as he wants to box, or until he loses that title. He's most likely going to be facing Hopkins in the coming future. And then that puts James DeGale in a position to take the title that Froch took, should he be able to beat Dirrell. Andre Dirrell, that is.
A big if.
A big if, but it'll be a very good fight, very exciting fight. In the UK, it'll be a very big fight. And then another one that'll be probably a huge fight in the UK if they can land it, which it'll probably end up in the States, is George Groves, who is the guy who a lot of people say almost beat Carl Froch the first fight, and then had a great fight with Froch the second time around. And just 80,000 people in the crowd. This is what UK boxing is. It excites all the North American fans. You don't get to see something like it. And I think that putting the 168-pound division in a home base of the UK with the talent they have, along with the North American talent, is nothing but good business for the boxing world.
I don't know. I haven't seen too much of Gale, so I can't, have a strong opinion. But I think Andre Dirrell, he kind of resurrected his career. I mean, I see a lot, like, his punches are a lot sharper now. I think he's actually training properly now. I think he's fully recovered from the injury, so I think it's a really good fight.
If we can get any of those fights into the ring in the next few months, that's just great business and great action for boxing fans, and I think everybody wins.
You're right.
This was Ringside reporting on Carl Froch vacating IBF Super Middleweight World Championship.